So welcome everybody. It's Beckie Sanderson here for today's Boost Your Brand with Books Masterclass. Thank you so much for joining. I know some of you might not be able to stay for the full session, but hopefully you'll be able to catch up on replay with anything you missed. If you do have any questions, pop them in chat and I'll do my best to answer them. But also it's a good opportunity for networking and connections. I'm guessing there's probably some people in the room who don't know each other. And also it's good for me to find out a bit more about what you do as well. So do pop into chat information about yourself, your business, what you do, who you help. And that is there for us to read through whilst we're taking part today. So I will start by sharing my screen and then we can get on with the presentation. Present. Okay, can everybody see that okay? Yeah, okay. I'm just going to close my reading list because it's stopping the let me hide that, that's better. That's better. Go to Zoom, share. Good, hopefully everybody can see that okay. I can't see my chat window now, it's disappeared, but if you do add any questions in, once I've stopped sharing the screen, I should be able to pick those up. So as I say, welcome to the Boost Your Brand with Books Masterclass with me, Beckie Sanderson from Miss Digital Media. So today we're going to be talking about creating, designing, self-publishing your own branded books, ebooks, journals and planners. So like I said, please add into chat to tell us a little bit about you, your business, what you do and who you help, and hopefully what you want to get out of this masterclass. So a little bit about me. I'm a brand and book designer for ambitious female coaches, consultants and creatives who want to attract their ideal clients and boost their brand to the next level. I design logos, branded books, online marketing, and I'm a creative professional with over 15 years experience. I stopped counting a while ago. It's just not good, is it? And the numbers keep going up. But I'm passionate about digital media, branding, design and publishing. I graduated with a degree in multimedia publishing and business and later gained my Kettles teaching qualification. I'm a digital media trainer and lecturer of media and graphics, and I've worked in further education, adult education and community learning, hence the Miss in Miss Digital Media. I also have some experience. When I graduated, I worked in London for various different traditional book publishing companies. So that's where my kind of career began. So also in the email that I've sent out, there is a link to download the 10 ways to boost your brand with books ebooks, which is also packed with information and ideas and some worksheets that you may find helpful. So please do check that out when you get the chance. But in today's session, you will learn about the opportunities of self-publishing, print on demand and other self-publishing platforms. We'll be talking about the business opportunity and how you can use books and ebooks to leverage your business. We'll talk a little bit about different book and ebook formats and an overview of the costs and investment involved. So the opportunities of self-publishing. So writing and publishing books and ebooks may not be something that you have already thought about doing, or perhaps you have, but self-publishing now is way more accessible than traditional publishing has ever been, thanks to the likes of platforms like Amazon Kindle Direct Publishing, Ingram Spark, Issue, and other self-publishing platforms. So the opportunity is there for all of us, and the growth in popularity of books and ebooks and the developments in e-reading technology over the last kind of 15 years plus have made ebook sales rocket. So print on demand and KDP and other platforms, of course. So with KDP and other platforms, you can publish a paperback book or an ebook with little to no setup costs. Print on demand technology means no stock is held of your book, meaning that there's no massive outlay for you in print production, storage and shipping. So with Amazon KDP, your book will be available to download from the Amazon online bookstore and be available for purchase worldwide within 24 hours for an ebook and within 72 hours for a paperback. So the business opportunity this presents entrepreneurs and business owners is that you have the opportunity to publish a variety of book and ebook formats, including low and no content branded books, which can generate an income for your business. You have the potential to earn a passive income from royalties of up to 70% on ebooks and up to 60% on paperback books. So Amazon and other platforms also have that ready to buy audience as well. So again, the advantages of using these major platforms means that you have that global reach and that ready to buy audience. So different design tools and software that I use and that others use in the industry for typesetting, designing books and ebooks. There's various different tools required for typesetting and formatting books and ebooks to create file formats which are ready to be printed or published on self-publishing platforms. I myself use Adobe InDesign, and I have historically used another program called Quark Express. I use Photoshop and Illustrator, and these are kind of the industry standard tools for creating page layouts. I also use Adobe Acrobat and Adobe Distiller for checking and creating PDF proofs as part of the editorial process. But there are alternatively various different affordable and free resources such as Canva that you can use to design your books. So how you can use books and ebooks to leverage your business? Well, they're great tools to help boost your brand visibility and to attract your ideal clients. They're a brilliant way for you to build the like, no, trust factor with your audience and to establish yourself as an expert in your field. They're brilliant tools to help reach a broad audience with your brand message expertise and personal stories, and a brilliant way to use as a lead magnet to generate leads and sales for courses, programs, one-to-one support or services. So I believe if you have a talent, a story or a skill to share, then there's no better place for it than in a book. So I believe that everybody has a book in them. So self-publishing books and ebooks isn't just for authors. There are opportunities for everyone. So if you're a coach, whatever your niche, mindset, confidence, business or personal, or health and fitness, if you're a consultant, whether you're an expert in your field, whether that be business, tech, sales, health and well-being, a specialist or a trainer or an advisor, or indeed creatives, if you're a media professional like me, a creative writer, a photographer, an illustrator or an artist. There's so many opportunities for everyone. And of course, there's so many different formats for books. So if you look along your own bookshelf, you'll see lots of different sizes, different shapes, different finishes, and various different formats that you have the ability to create. So whether that be as paperbacks or hardbacks, wire bound, saddle stitch, which is stapled down the spine, a textbook, a reference book or a workbook, memoirs, self-help books, journals, planners, notebooks, diaries, board books, picture books, colouring books, which are my favourite, recipe books. The list is truly, truly endless. So there's many, many different types and genres that are available for you, and of course audiences to go with that. And there are many different types also of ebook platforms and formats as well. So there are so many different ebook platforms for publishing ebooks, such as Kindle, Ingram Spark, Lulu, Drafter Digital, Apple Books, Barnes and Noble, Issue, and many more. And there's such a variety of different devices as well to support ebook reading, and which help support different formats, including PDFs, EPUBs, Mobi, and many, many others. And these can be kind of page turning documents, or as a fixed layout, or as a reflowable format where you can increase the text size and change the background color if because some people with ADHD and dyslexia like to change the backgrounds and increase the text size to make readability more user friendly. So this is the big bit. The costs and investment involved, and these are often the reasons that stop people in their tracks when they're thinking about creating or publishing a book. And the first thing that I always talk about is the ISBN. So any book, or most books, should have on the back cover, so if I hold up to the camera there, above the barcode you can see a number, and that's the ISBN number, which stands for the International Standard Book Number. And this is what is linked to royalties to make sure you receive your royalty payments. And it's the way of identifying the book and the author. And I say this first because I think it's really important for you to understand what you plan to do with your book, as to whether or not you need to purchase your own ISBN. Because with Amazon, for example, you can get a free ASIN number, which is an Amazon standard identification number. And this is a free version of an ISBN, because ISBNs can be costly. If you're purchasing one, it can be somewhere in the region of 40 to 60-ish pounds. But you could also buy a block of 10 for about 150, something like that. So it is a costly thing to do. So it's important for you to bear in mind what your goals are for your book in terms of your book sales. And my advice is that if you don't foresee selling more than a kind of 500 books, then the Amazon ASIN, free ASIN, would be sufficient. However, if you do plan to have your own books printed, or you plan to list it for sale on other platforms, then I would recommend that you have your own ISBN number. And if you're not doing low content books, so if you're doing a kind of business book or a memoir or something where you've got valuable content in that you've created, then I would again recommend that you purchase your own ISBN. So this is something, like I say, that I say at the outset, because I think this is a really important key decision that you need to make fairly early on in the process of creating a book. So editing, this is something that is, again, something that may kind of inhibit people moving forward with their book, because it can be a costly thing, or people choose to not have a professional editor work on their book, and that can turn out to be a costly mistake. So by cutting corners, saying, oh, I'll just edit it myself, or I get somebody else to read it for you. Editing isn't just about grammar, spelling. It's also about looking at the legalities of the content and any potential liability in any of the content that you may have written. And equally, the same is true of proofreading, I would say. Again, having a professional proofreader check your work or your manuscript and the typeset pages is really critical part of the process to, again, fix or identify any issues that need to be fixed before the book goes to publish. Book cover design, it's the same principle. Again, yes, you can do it yourself, but good cover design can really make the difference between making a sale and not making a sale. And we all know how we do judge a book by its cover, so it is very important to make the right impression from the get-go. Page design. So again, this is something, depending on the type of book that you're creating. If you're creating a kind of low content book, you can do this in InDesign yourself. But creating something like a textbook or business book or a memoir, for example, you want your pages to look like professionally laid out. So a typesetter like me would create headings, subheadings, drop caps, place the page numbers correctly, and set up the pages in right and left pages so that the book flows correctly. And typesetting itself is quite an in-depth part of the process. There's lots of different factors taken into account in terms of the technical side of things, image formats, and the outputting, so the process of doing the editing, the design, the editing, and making the files ready for print. So it's something that is learned over several years, and any typesetter knows they continue to learn and develop their skills throughout their career. So this is something that I've done for many, many years, and that's where my expertise comes from. Equally, illustration and photography might be something that you might need to invest in, depending on the content of your book. If you're writing a children's book, for example, you may want to work with an illustrator that's creating a style that's suitable for your book. Equally, you might need photography if you're doing a kind of instructional book, maybe. Also need to think about picture licensing. So you might choose to use stock imagery from one of the many image libraries that are available. But it's important to not just take something from the internet and use that, because that would be breaching copyright. So it is important to make sure that you have paid the relevant fees to use the work in published material. Typesetting and formatting, explained a little bit already. Printing. So printing is a really big cost for book production. And again, going back to the print on demand facility with Amazon and other platforms means that they're taking the risk for you, really, in that it's printed on demand, so it's digitally printed to order. So you don't have that massive outlay or that risk or that storage cost or the shipping costs and postage and packaging and all of those factors. Amazon kindly deal with all that for you and then take a cut of your book for the privilege. So, but if you were to think about, well, I do want to get my own copies printed, then you would need to shop around, same as you would for anything else, to find the right print supplier to produce your book in the most cost-effective way. Marketing, again, it's same as marketing in any other part of business. How long's a piece of string? How much should you invest? What can you do on a shoestring? What are the marketing assets that you need to invest bigger sums of money in? What marketing can you do that costs nothing? So it's dependent, again, on your goals for the book, where the spend might be necessary, but it's definitely a valid thing to be thinking about while you're publishing your book. Excuse me. So promotional, again, whether that's PR related, whether that's that you have promotional material like bookmarks or other point of sale promotions. There's an endless amount of opportunities for spending and investing in these promotional tools that bring those book sales. So again, it's purely depends on each book and what your goals are and what market you're trying to sell your book to. So to round up, my top tips would be to do your research into the costs and different platforms, to think about how each book will be different and have different costs. I believe that everybody has different skills, so you need to decide which parts you can do yourself and which parts you will need to outsource. I recommend that you don't cut corners, hire professionals for specific tasks, and be prepared to invest time in learning new skills. So, whilst I have a look through the chat in a moment, I'd like you to think about your own book and ebook ideas. What might the title be? What could the content include? What book and ebook format might you use? And who is the target audience or ideal reader? So a lot of what I talk about in my course and in other masterclasses that I've done on this topic and in general, I always bang on about repurposing. So if you already have lots of social media content or blogs, or you do podcasts, or you do video lives, all of this content is content that you could repurpose to create a book. Equally, if you write a book or a course, that's content that could be repurposed into a workbook, a planner, or it could be something that you write a book and then you repurpose that content to create your social media content. So the point is here, you don't need to reinvent the wheel. If you've already done a lot of the work, you can make really good use of that to create something or repackage something that you can generate an income for your business. So in thinking about your target audience, and please do add in chat your ideas for your own book titles and let me know if you have any questions. But I'd like you to think about who is your ideal reader and these key questions. Who are they? But also who are you? What do you have to offer? What are the ideal readers' problems or issues that you that they might need help with, and why you're the right person to help with that problem, and why it is they have this problem, what it is that you're going to do to help them with that problem, and how you're going to do that, and how are you going to reach them, where are they online or offline, so how can you market and promote your book to them, and where are they geographically, but also where are they maybe in their life journey, their business journey, or etc. So if I can go back to stop sharing a second. So please do let me know in the chat. I'll just have a look through. Think so. Claire says, I think I could make an inspirational book with the best bits and learnings from the guest speakers on your podcast. That would be a lovely book. And you know, because you've got that audience as well, they're going to buy into that, especially if they're likely to be in it. That would go down really well. But as you say, very inspirational for your audience in general. By Jules. Jules, I know you've got an ebook already, haven't you? Have you thought about making? Oh, she's gone. I thought she was still here. So no, Julie created an ebook about essential oils. So Terry says she has plans to start producing ebooks and actual books and had no idea where to start, hoping to get some useful tips here. Brilliant. Well, hopefully if you download the 10 Ways to Boost Your Brand with Books ebook that will give you lots more ideas and inspiration for different ways that you can create your content, and some useful worksheets that might help. Nina. Oh yes, Minnie, you're actually writing your book at the moment. So the journeys of 3 women clients with anxiety, depression and trauma and their challenges. Brilliant. Oh, Jill, absolutely love that idea. As I said, colouring books are my favourite thing. I'd love to do that. Because you do, was it you who was saying you do cards, or what was it you do with the templates? Remind me.
Yeah, so I'm a brand and graphic designer, but my background's illustration.
Yes.
And we've got a bit of an ongoing story with mental health in our family, so it's just something that's quite close to my heart. So I'm not a counsellor or anything like that. So, but it would be more of a kind of like an inspirational colour therapy, that sort of thing.
I love that. I've been wanting to create my own colouring book for some time, and I kind of half did it when I made my own journal, which there's colouring illustrations and things for doodling, some fairly basic things there, but I would love to do a full colouring book. How to create your visual brand look. I love that as well. Yes, absolutely. That sounds brilliant. Excellent. So you've also all got some different ideas, and that is the thing, that it's more than achievable for you to do, whether even if you're not a designer like myself or Jill, but that you can create this kind of content with Amazon, with Canva, and you can upload to Amazon. So there's all sorts of opportunities, and there's all sorts of different templates and things as well. So, and it's really good that you've got some clear ideas, and you've also got a kind of a clear market for those books as well. And also some of you have that audience ready to buy too, which is wonderful. Brilliant. Does anybody have any questions? No? Okay.
Yeah, I guess it's my question would be, my third idea would be like a brand journal.
Yeah.
So it would just be a case of, if you were going to go down the print on demand, I guess it's print on demand is my question. Is your thoughts on that and your experience with it?
Well, again, if you're using something like Amazon, then there's all sorts of different kind of sizes and formats for you to choose. They've recently, just this week, I've seen notifications that they are changing the pricing, and so certain formats have gone up in price, others haven't increased that much. So that I would say choose carefully which size you choose to maximize the profitability. But also consider which other platforms are available. So look at DocZoo, Ingram Spark, Lulu, to see how, for the format that you want, how the cost compares, and look at the profitability that you can then achieve. Or it's also thinking about, again, if you foresee making a larger number of sales because you're going to put marketing, etc., in place to achieve that, I would also consider having a block of books printed yourself, and then you can use the Amazon fulfillment to sell through the Amazon platform, but you can increase your profitability per unit per book by printing them yourself. Because Amazon obviously take their cut of their book production, and it's not particularly cheap, but the advantages obviously of using Amazon are that audience that they already have there, and the fact that they're dealing with all of the sales, the shipping, the print production, packaging. It's a bit of a no-brainer for people who don't have the budget to print themselves. So it's it really depends on the sales that you would foresee as to which route you might choose to go. But print on demand, the quality isn't amazing, but again, you'll see a variation in quality between, say, Amazon and Ingram. So Amazon are doing hardbacks now as well. Ingram will also do hardbacks, and I hear, you know, differing opinions on the quality from each of those platforms because they have various different suppliers all over the world, and so you can't guarantee where your books are going to be supplied from, and so the quality can vary massively. So that's another disadvantage.
So presumably, Beckie, if you print with Amazon, if you print, say, do a print run with Amazon or with Ingram, I'm assuming you like have specific amounts you can choose to print, and it would get cheaper per unit if you were printing more.
It's not strictly like that with Amazon because it's printed to order and it's digitally printed. So you could have somebody place an order for one copy and they would print that book and ship it out. It's not like an economies of scale in that way with Amazon.
But if you wanted to print a print run rather than print on demand, would you have to do that somewhere else then?
Yes, you can order like a bulk load of copies from Amazon once you've listed your book for sale, but that wouldn't be the most cost-effective way to do it. And that's why it comes back to you making that decision whether or not to purchase your own ISBN so that you can then produce them elsewhere.
Oh, I see.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So you could decide to say have a print run of 500 books produced by your local printer or wherever in the country, and then have them shipped to you for you to sell directly via your website, for example, or if you go into events, that's going to be much more profitable for you to do it that way. But obviously you've had that outlay. So it's thinking about how you want to sell your books and the quantities, like I said, that you foresee selling. And
what is Ingram Spark that you keep talking about? What does that mean?
Ingram Spark is another self-publishing platform, and they also list books for sale on Amazon, but they also have a much wider distribution network. So listing your book for sale on Ingram means that independent booksellers can have books distributed to them through Ingram, but also your book then gets listed on Amazon Waterstones, Barnes and Noble, and other fairly large international bookstores and online bookstores. Cool. So that's the advantages of using them. They had historically had a fee of around £50 to list each book or ebook, whereas it was free on Amazon. But now, or at least they're doing a promotion where you don't have to pay that fee at the moment. So that is something that they're trying to do, obviously, to compete. But there's other platforms as well. I hear, although I've never used them myself, I hear good things about Lulu. But again, the variation in quality can be quite large. So it depends on, I think, you testing the market. It's slightly risky, but you can test by having a couple printed, and then if you don't like them, then you can obviously list your book elsewhere for sale. So it has advantages for you, again, having your own ISBN, so you've got that portability. But yes, I think another one is DocZoo, and they do all sorts of different formats. And one thing that I get repeatedly asked about is Wiro binding. So because they want books that lay flat to write in. So DocZoo do Wiro, and I think Lulu do Wiro, but I'm not sure. You can't have Wiro with Amazon, and I'm not sure whether Ingram do Wiro bound either. So there's all sorts of different factors to bear in mind, and also how you then price the book and doing your research on the platforms to see what other books are available in your niche, what price point are they, how many pages do they have, what sort of content do they have, what's the quality. With Amazon you have standard black and white, standard colour, and then premium colour, and the cost is really quite high for all of their print costs. It is, but still, you know, I think for this, for mine, it costs, I think it's around £2.49. It's possibly gone up now, they've changed the prices, but it's £2.49 to create this. It's slightly bigger than A5, so it's 6 by 9 inches, this format, and it's 200 pages, black and white only, and that's about £2.50 per book.
Cool, interesting.
Gives you an idea, but there's print cost calculators on Amazon, so you can go in and experiment what the price point would be for the print cost, so that you could then work out what your cover cost would be and how many sales that you need to break even. So there's various different tools available, different templates and things to help you make it happen.
So I guess you could, in theory, or like set it all up and then order one yourself to check the quality.
Yeah.
And then you could go in, and if you were like, oh, actually that cover's rubbish, it's too thin, or you could go back in and then change the spec.
Absolutely. Like I say, you can choose the different paper, the print types, and I think you can choose different paper types as well, and obviously the different weight of the paper means that the spine width will increase, and this all bears a cost. So it's different, you know, horses for courses, so you just got to check it out. But yeah, absolutely, you can put it on there, test it out without kind of promoting it, so you're not getting the traffic to it, so people don't know it's there unless you tell them it's there. And then you can remove the book from being published so that it's not available. But yeah, it's always worth kind of testing different platforms to see the quality, isn't it? Or purchasing one that's already on that platform so that you can see what it's actually like.
Coming from an actual traditional publishing background in that I edit books.
Yes, you do.
I do. So I don't need an editor, but I will need a proofreader because you always miss your own stuff. So a little bit of techie question. So how do you supply files to Amazon or Ingram?
For printed books on Amazon, you upload a print-ready PDF. For ebooks, there's various different formats. So I use, so once I've created a book for print, generally when I'm creating ebooks for my clients, I create what's called a fixed layout format. So it's basically a print replica. So I create the layouts in InDesign and export it excuse me, as PDF, and then I import it to the Amazon Kindle Create program.
And then it looks right on the screen. Where
you create an interactive table of contents so that it's navigable on the platform. Excuse me, I've got a right tickle now. But that works best for me and the books that I work on, because often there's a picture here or there. Otherwise, if it's just text, then I'd recommend a reflowable format so that you can increase the text size and have, again, that more user-friendly ebook experience. If you upload just a PDF to Amazon, the problem with that is that it can often be too big for the screen, so the usability just isn't there and the text isn't the right size and the page is too big for the screen. It's just not a good experience. So that's why I would recommend, it depends on the content as to which way you would do it.
Yeah, understood. Thank you, Beckie.
No problem. I'll just go back to the presentation. That's not the right one. Where is it? Disappeared. There it is. There we go. So lots and lots and lots to think about. So my course starts on the 8th of June and runs for 6 weeks for anybody that would like more help to develop their book and ebook ideas. It's a fun course where you learn how to design and publish your own branded books, ebooks, journals and planners. And the course will be run for 6 weeks at 1.5 hour sessions every Thursday at 1 o'clock. And these will be delivered on Zoom with replay links available. The course includes a course workbook, templates and resources, and I help you to learn different publishing tools, techniques and processes, marketing strategies and more. And I have a Facebook support group where you can use each week and add in different questions outside of the session, but also you have kind of lifetime access to this as well. So I'm starting to build a small community of other business owners who've been through the course, and so that we can keep up to date with their progress with their books in time to come. So each session is shown there on screen. We have the introduction, similar to today's session, however, more in-depth look at market research, categories and keywords. Session 2 is all about writing and editing, using and repurposing your content, editing, proofreading, working with editors and ghostwriters. I also have a couple of other experts come into the support group to do live sessions. So I have a ghostwriter, an editor, Samantha Houghton, an audiobooks expert, Charlotte Chew, and then we also have another book cover designer, and she's an expert in kind of fiction books, but also she's brilliant on Amazon A+ content for marketing, and excellent expertise around keywords and categories. So there's not just me where you get benefiting from my expertise, but there's others there as well for more specialist support in different areas. So session 3 is all about design, book and ebook formats, templates, different design tools, and creating your design brief. And we do that over 2 sessions. In the previous courses, I've done it over 4 weeks, but I felt we needed more time for this kind of middle area where sometimes things take a little bit longer. And then we have the session 5, publishing and uploading, and then the final session, all about marketing, promotion strategies and more. So I believe, again, if you have a talent, a story or skill to share, there's no better place for it than in a book. And I'd love for you to consider joining the course. I've had some lovely testimonials from those that have been through the course before. And Paula went on to create her own notebooks, and she already had some books before she joined the course, but she wasn't making the sales that she wanted. And we looked at her books and identified what wasn't working, what could be improved, and she's making more book sales now, which is wonderful. And Nisha has still been writing her other books. She's got various different book ideas and was really wanting to know more about the actual process of publishing. So each and every person's got their own goals with it. So I'm offering a fast action bonus for anybody that would like to join the course who enrolls today. Would get the 20% discount, well, sorry, 10% discount. I've changed that. Naughty me. But you also get a consultation with me, access to my Boost Your Brand with Books ebook that's on Kindle, and you get to choose one of the lead magnet, journal planner, or ebook templates that I have access to. So, and they're worth $27 each. And they are not only include the book templates, but also templates for marketing and promotion. So if anybody has any questions, you know where to find me. And it might be that actually the course might not be what you're looking for right now, but I do offer one-to-one support and training. Or indeed, if you've got a book layout that you just want to use as a lead magnet, and you would like another pair of eyes on it, then I'd be more than happy to help you with that. So no worries, Terry's just saying thank you.
Beckie, can I just quickly ask a quick question?
Yes.
So you know, the list that you made, like there's editing, there's proofreading, all that. So which ones of all of those do you do? I was fairly new to all this.
Yes, well, I do the design page layout, formatting. I also provide a very basic copy editing service as I'm designing. But I do work with other editors, proofreaders, ghostwriters as well. And like I said, there's other specialist people, depending on whether it's an audio book that you want, or if you need, you want a really high-end cover. There's different people that I can work with. I can also design book covers as well. So it's project specific, I would say. But yeah, so are you looking for an editor for your...
So I've got a book coach that I'm working with at the moment. So we're doing like anything I need, sort of, I suppose editing wise, like that. It's got to its almost first draft. Then after that, obviously I have to like go through the editing stage and then proofreading stage and then different stages. So I'm kind of a little bit foreseeing that I'll need somebody like yourself who will help me with like branding and stuff like that. So that's where I am at the moment.
Okay, well, I can obviously provide you with a call where we can discuss once you've got to that stage. I can provide you with costs.
That'd be amazing.
Things like that. But also, like I said, I can put you in touch with...
I think, Claire, you do editing as well. So do you do editing for books? Claire, do you do editing for books then?
I do editing for books, but I work for a publisher.
Okay.
So I'm freelance, but I work for a publisher. But if you wanted me to cast a final eye over for, I'd be happy to do that kind of thing. But I wouldn't go into like the actual copy editing.
Okay.
Remind me, Claire, what sort of book do you edit?
Illustrated non-fiction. So lots of photos, lots of step-by-step arts, crafts. Right now I'm doing a crochet book, Swedish weaving, and drawing flowers.
Okay, mine probably won't have many illustrations in it, but it will definitely be non-fiction. I might get one of the clients to sort of, actually, that said, there's a client who actually I helped and she's gone on to do sort of an art business, as she could put a piece in there, so there might be that potential as well to put in. But
I think like Beckie says, the important bit, and this is probably what your coach is saying as well, is to kind of get the organisation. Like if you were making a website or anything, you get the organisation right first. That's the big bit. And then everything gets easier as you hone it down and you fine-tune it.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you.
Sometimes I find that, what is it they say? It's the 80-20 rule. So the 20% of work actually takes 80% of the time. So it's and often, every book's different and every book will have its different challenges. And you can get right to the end of a book and think, well, yeah, it's almost ready to go, and then something will happen and the author decides, no, it's all got to change, and then it's like going back to the drawing board when actually you're at the point of going to publish. So it's like, So it's different. Every book has its own challenges, and every book I learn something new every time.
But you have that flexibility through self-publishing that you wouldn't have through traditional publishing.
Absolutely.
Traditional publishing, you've got your deadlines, you've got to send it to Singapore to be printed for a particular date, and at least you have that flexibility with self-publishing that you might go, actually, I'm not sure about it, or one of my contributors is not happy, or, you know, and you can do it at any time. With traditional publishing, you're following timelines and stuff, and
it is a different ball game. Like you say, you've got much more control with self-publishing, and you know, even if there's something that does get published that then subsequently changes, and you need to make that edit, you need to make that change, or you've got the opportunity to do that, and immediately stop any more books going out with that change. So yeah, there's it is such an amazing tool, I think, and that's what I'm so passionate about it, because I think it's accessible to everybody, and I'm passionate about that, because I think everybody has an opportunity with self-publishing. Anybody, doesn't matter who you are, we've all got a book in us in some format, or even if we don't want to write, we can still potentially earn money from books, and I think that's really, really exciting. My tutor, my publishing lecturer, said, oh, ebooks will never be popular, you're never going to make money out of them, and I now am making money out of ebooks, so I feel good about that. You know, it's like, why not? But I hope that that's been helpful for you today.
Really helpful.
And if there's anything at all I can help you with in future, please do get in touch.
Thank you so much. Thanks for your time. That was amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Becky. It's really good.
It's lovely to see all of you as well.
Yeah, and you. See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.